Are these the top stocks to buy? Part 2. We're taking a look at GLD, DDOG, GRWG.
ChartGuys.com. Become a confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. Let's check out some charts.
EXRO and GPRO. We're going to be checking out these stocks through the lens of technical analysis, which is a means to investigate price action, patterns, and basically take a look into the psychology behind market movements. And that's what we do at ChartGuys.com. Here's our blurb. All right, we're taking a look at GLD first of all. On the daily time frame, I can't say I'm loving it. We had a big, nice push to 194.45, and we've had far more consolidation on the weekly time frame than I would like to see, which means we've developed into a daily downtrend that exceeds the expectations of what we would want a nice, healthy trend of consolidation to be. So if this was going to be a flag, the flag has been stretched to beyond shape and it's no longer going to be functional for us. So what we need to do is look for areas of resistance, and we need to look for overall pattern development. On GLD, I would start looking on the daily time frame and start trying to draw resistances in. And when I don't have a lot of green candlesticks, I need to accommodate roughly the bottoms of reds and the tops of greens. And it's really ugly when I do it like this, and I'm not really happy with this sort of analysis. So I just try to make it fit. And in this case, I'm not going to give this too much credit. I'm going to get rid of it, and I'm going to say, you know what? We don't have a solid pattern. We're not going to focus on this other than the fact that we have price action resistance levels, and we'll go put a big old number on 185.01 on the daily time frame. So with that being said, what we're going to look for is some sort of clue and indication inside this range. So 173.77 to the recent highs. And to do that, we're going to go right to the 4-hour time frame, and we're going to look for some sort of help. And even in this level, we start to see that there's not a lot of clarity here either. On the 4-hour, we have an overall 4-hour uptrend with 4 points of contact, which is great. We may be able to draw in a little bit of a trend. Let's see if we have any more luck doing this on GLD. So in this case, I'm going to draw the top of this green one, this green candlestick, this one, and because I only have 2 points of contact, that doesn't really help us find a nice trend. But what it does do is it shows us that there is a historical something here. And it is sometimes a little bit of magical, and this is where the art and science part of technical analysis comes into play, is more the art side. We're connecting 2 points of contact, and you know what? It correlates well with the price action we're seeing here, correlates well here, and it just so happens to correlate back here. Does it ever go back to touch anything else? Probably not. Well, what do you know? I just chalk that up to coincidence, but sometimes it's just a little bit magical how charts work. Anyway, heading forward on GLD, I like this resistance, and then I'm going to go drag it down to right there, and I'm putting it right on the body of this doji candlestick, and it correlates pretty well. So you know what, friends? I think we got ourselves a 4-hour trend that we can utilize. What we're going to recognize as a break from this pattern is going to be a low under 177.10. That's going to put us outside the threshold of our parallel channel zone of support, which is a fancy way of saying we accept that this is our channel, but if we happen to dip to this level, we're okay because we've done that and we bounced back twice. But if we exceed that level and we break 177.10, we're going to be outside the confines of historical action inside this trend, and we're going to be breaking to the downside. So pattern over, lower highs, lower lows, 4-hour time frame has changed, and we're heading to the downside. Now, if we stay inside this, we're going to keep on doing what we've been doing, daily highs, and higher lows. Daily 4-hour support is at, I should say 4-hour higher lows, higher highs. 4-hour support 177.10, resistance is at our trend line, and 181.40. Short-term time frame's got a little bit of resistance here at 179.59. That was a fun breakdown. I enjoyed that one. I love finding a nice trend, especially after you get frustrated with the lack of clarity. DDOG, a little bit different. Daily breakout. RSI is still overbought. We're consolidating a little bit, and we can see that we are setting daily higher lows, period of relatively clustered action. But we've got our fun little 101.81, and on the 4-hour time frame, probably going to get a bit more clarity. Ooh, there's a big after-hours dip. But you know what? It's not so bad. As long as bulls can stay above 101.81, find this daily support come into play in this area that has been giving us a lot of congestion, which is my new buzzword, so you're going to be hearing it for a few days. Look how much volume is traded in this area. We can count on this as a price action level support. We can also count on it as a volume support. If we go add our fancy volume visible range, look how much is happening here. Get below that level, you start to get in trouble because there's just not a lot of anything in your way if the bears want to push down. So if you're looking for short position, you want to wait until this area is broken. Until then, we're going to look for it to act as an area of support. So what we'll do is look for confirmation of a trend. We don't want to see a flag. Actually, we could see a flag develop right in this area, but because of the distance of our flagpole, that would put us right at support, and that'd be a good bottom fishing opportunity. Bears would be completely exhausted by the time we get down there. So if you're looking for a long entry, look for some sort of consolidation pattern, something to get us another leg down, and then look for support in the area 102.14 to 101.41. That would be the best case scenario. Other than that, aside from a scary 4-hour chart, the daily chart looks okay. GRWG, a little bit of a tightening range, not quite a squeeze. Let's put on, oh, there we got the squeeze. So the green dots, this is a Ttm Squeeze, represent a confined area of trading where we can see our Bollinger Bands coming in. The range is getting kind of boring, but when you mix together a recipe of 1 part's boring to 1 part's volume, things tend to get a little bit explosive. We see something similar over here, where let's see if we can put that squeeze goggles back on. Where are those squeeze goggles? Turn them back on. Look at that squeeze. Look at the range. And then we get some explosive movement. So that's the sort of thing that we'd like to see when we're talking about things getting squozen together. Daily time frame, higher lows, higher highs. We have 4-hour support. Let's go plug those magic numbers in. 17 psychological. We've got 1934. I don't like the lower high under that level, but I would still expect to see a bounce around 17, a lower high underneath 1891, and still give the bulls a little bit of an opportunity here to change the course of the story. 1710, 1712 support, 1757, so our 15-minute range is opening up a little bit. Let's see if we can hold that 17. Lose 17, and then I think we are just going to be looking for a quick push down, maybe to, what's our 4-hour support below that? Something in the area of 1580. That would be the most likely area, and then a lower high. EXRO, tightening up here. This is a pretty big breakout, but way too much of a fade. And this is what makes people love that idea of a gap fill. You know what? It filled and then it went right back up. But we still saw a lower high on the daily. So this starts to look a little bit EQ-ish on the daily. And equilibrium is where you have this ping-pong balance of back and forth price action. Imagine, what's a good analogy for this? I don't know. Imagine you're bowling. Okay? This is not a good analogy. But your lane looks like this. And you hit the walls because you bowl like I do, and you just get into a tighter and tighter range, and then the same thing sideways. It's just a tightening range. It's another version of a squeeze where you get prices compressing down, and then ultimately you get and something happens either direction. So what we've got here is the makings of an equilibrium. We've got 3 points, but we don't have a 4th. And the fact is, we've drifted pretty far sideways where we should have expected to drift down. So we have 261 support, we have 362 resistance, and I'm going to be mostly focusing on this area in here. We could try to draw ourselves a little bit of a trend channel. Does it work? You know what? Beautiful, it does. 3 points of contact, 2 points of contact down here. And I would just be looking for this to break bull. If this breaks bull, I think we get a test of 362. If it breaks bear, 261 support, or we just stay in this channel and do nothing for a long time. There's opportunities inside that action, but watch for the 15-minute break outside this channel. We'd seem to move around a little bit pre-market after hours, but not too much. No, that's not true at all. We got a TSXV stock here, guys. G Pro. All right. Let's see. We had a beautiful 2-day bull flag. We saw our good follow through, and it did not represent well as a bull flag on the 4-hour time frame. We didn't get lower lows, but we didn't get an equilibrium either, did we? So those can be a little bit challenging. The problem with that is you get your low. If you're looking for a bull flag, you're looking for something under 598. We got 607. We got 609. A nice base of support, but ultimately, you know what happened? We broke above that 655. We back tested 30-minute 12, and then now we are testing this area multiple times for support. So the daily bulls aren't quite ready to move on yet, but they are tightening up. We had a 4-hour inside bar here. So what I would suspect we'd want to wait for is going to be a break over the 708 double top. If we can get over 708 double top, 738 is right in our sights. Break below this area of support, 655. I think we're looking for another test around 6 psychological. That's it. If this is helpful or you learned something, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, mashing all of the buttons on YouTube. It really helps us out a lot. And if you want to learn more about technical analysis, we do this all day, every day. We love it. Chartguys.com.